Alright, here we go. Bare Knuckle 3, Part 5, the final real part in this. Although I will be doing an extra part, or maybe two. I still have to edit the footage for that. But here we are, with some new robot enemies that are somewhat based off the Streets of Rage 2 bosses from Stage 7. They're still not much of a threat at all. These guys are pretty common in Stage 6 and 7. You fight them here and, well, in the one route of Stage 7. So we've got an elevator here. The quickest way to do this is to go down to the bottom floor that's programmed. There is some hidden levels here that you can't access without a Game Genie, so there was going to be more to it. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but go to the bottom here, you'll come across two karate guys, and once you deal with them, these doors will open, marked 1, 2, and 3. You always go in the middle door, even on the middle floor. Just go in the middle door. It doesn't change at either time, you go in there, and that's it. This stage really isn't that long at all. It can be your first time because you need to explore all the rooms, you don't know what's in there, but all you'll find are these 2 control rooms, 3 trap rooms, and a treasure room. There's actually 2 treasure rooms and there's another treasure room and another trap room that are programmed in, and you can actually access that trap room in the dual mode. But you can't here because it's on the other side of the wall. Those are rooms 4 and 5. Under floor 3, there's a basement floor. You can only access it with a Game Genie, as I said. You just fight some random punks there, and then you move on to an elevator on the right side. You go up, you find rooms 4 and 5. Then when you go up again, you will come up to a top floor that has an exit to it. So apparently you were supposed to exit this stage instead of it just ending after you rescue the general. I think it would have been really neat to see it all come through, but oh well. These bastards blocking all the time. Those enemies will always come back unless you let the gas go off. The gas will kill all enemies outside because the timer doesn't... Oh right, there is a timer there. You can see it, you'll probably not ever run out of time if you know what you're doing. It doesn't go any faster on higher difficulties, the only thing you have to worry is the enemies. So go in the middle room, we find another control room. You just break down the gate. You get a grenade, but grenades are useless, so... Luckily, I have Blaze's 3-star move, which will really rip it apart if these guys let me. Every part of her slide kick does extra damage, or does her slide kick does multiple hits, that's what I'm trying to say, but each hit will knock an enemy down. That's why it's useful here. Wasn't the other guy wearing green, not gold? That's interesting. But anyway, I don't take very long with Stage 6. Like I said, it's not very hard once you know what you're doing. Those control panels unblock those lasers and lasers that were in front of the general. So he's safe, he's rescued, and we find out that Zan actually knew him, and the general calls him Dr. Gilbert, which is Zan's real name, I guess. So they work together, and the general was captured, and he says that there's a press conference going on that he has to go stop. If you let him die, like, the gas can go off and then a health bar appears. If you let him die, you go to a different Stage 7 where you actually go and stop the press conference yourself. For now, we're going up to the rooftop to fight a boss. Then we will be heading off to stop Mr. X. One final time. This is a... oh no. Oh no, there's more. Oh, there's 3 of them. Oh. So Jet's back. He's looking pretty worse for wear, and he's wearing a pink costume. These other guys, Rockets, they're basically the same, but with a few less moves. Jet isn't nearly as annoying in this game. You can combo him. You can grab him. I don't think I ever do, because it's a little difficult. Also, each time you kill his 2 rocket guards, 2 more eventually come back. And they're just there to get in the way, so try to focus on Jet, just get rid of the other guys when you need to. However, they won't spawn in unless you kill both of them, so if there's still one around, it's more manageable. Now this music track is just completely crazy and frantic. I actually kind of like it. Well, there we go. Jet's down and more rockets are appearing and... okay, it's over. Do I have to fight them? Nope, because we have random gunfire from the sky. Oh, and who's that? Black man in a yellow shirt? Adam came to save our asses! So he figured they could use some help, and here he is to help. We don't actually get to play him, or he doesn't play much part in the story, but that scene actually changes there, the little cutout, depending on which route or which stage 7 you're going to go to. For this one, the general's alive, so he's being loaded into the helicopter where Adam's going to take him over to the White House. Or City Hall, depending on what version of the game you're playing. Everyone else is heading off to stop Mr. X. So here we go, stage 7, last round in the game. We're in a forest, and that is a prime example of what not to do. Watch out for those traps, because you will be launched into the sky and they take out a quarter of your life bar. And ninjas are ninjas. They're kind of annoying, but not quite as much as they used to be. Oh yeah, you find the bikers again here. We haven't seen them since stage 2. Actually, there were supposed to be stages where you rode on bikes, on the motorbikes, that were supposed to be the first part of the different stage 7s. To get to this area, you would have rode through a wasteland, and to get to the other area where you would have rode across a bridge. I don't quite know how that bike hit me there, but okay. This ninja's gonna be a problem. Yep, he's still alive. Really hope I don't die here. It's gonna be really close. Thankfully I have a sword and all kinds of snazzy moves. Oh. Down he goes. Ah, not more. You can actually see another one about to jump out because of the bushes moving in the background. I'll certainly take that kunai though. And we find these robots again. Oh, that was close. I could have sworn I was going to get hit by the trap there. Oh, he's about to blow up. You dodged that by jumping. Not that it mattered, since I got hit by a laser anyway. I think that guy was about to explode too, but I managed to get him before he went to the animation. Oh, of course, more ninjas. Ninjas, robots, and bikers. That's all you fight here. Oh, that one's in purple. Or magenta, I suppose. He's also got a yellow face. Oh, god damn it. Okay, I won't be racist anymore if that's what's gonna happen. Bite me. Okay, now we seem to be going out into a road, but where do we end up? A factory. Where we fight some Robot X's named Mr. A to Z. Because, you know, Mr. X and Mr. A to Z. To Z, I should say. I'm Canadian. There's no real point to killing them all, except for points. A lot of times they just stop randomly and laugh. They think that you're being hit, but... they're really not an issue. I think 26 of them do come across, though. You know, Mr. A to Z. Oh boy, conveyor belts, and they take up the whole screen. That's just what I wanted to see. Thankfully, we don't have to go over there yet. If you go onto the conveyor belts and attack the enemies, it's just setting yourself up for failure. You want to take out the enemies as long as you can on the solid, unmoving ground. Assuming this robot jumps close to me and not way off screen. Eventually you do have to move on to them, but the less enemies on there, the better. Because you do run into some guys with guns here, and they are a pain on the conveyor belts. Because you have to get near them to hit them. Oh, and you also got these, laser drop things that can hit the enemies, but they can also hit you. And more enemies, of course. Can I not fight on the conveyor belt now? Yep. Maybe. The stage itself isn't very long across, it's just because of the conveyor belts that it seems long. Also, enemies aren't affected by them, again. That's one thing Streets of Rage 2 managed to do better. Oh, he's about to blow up. Now this conveyor belt eventually slows down and starts moving the other direction, and it continues to alternate. I think I got rid of all the enemies though and can move on. Because once you can move on, it just stops completely. We fight a rocket and some more robots, none of which is very difficult. Just have to watch out for the lasers here, and, you know, rocket's annoying, but not impossible. See? Multiple damage move. I got him with it right there. And now we can move on. So where to next? Well, first we get another completely random-ass music track, if you can call it that. A conveyor belt that moves vertically, and Albert Einstein in the background trying to kill us with this claw grabber thing. I don't really have any real way to approach this. Because of the conveyor belt moving, you're not going to hit him very much. You can only hit it when it comes down, and I guess jump kicking's the best bet. Forward or down jump attack, not your standing one, because that won't do much damage. Eventually it breaks off and boss fight gets a little bit harder, but not a lot. So when it comes down, it's pulsing electricity. You gotta wait until it stops and then hit it when it's losing steam. And not hard. He blows up in the background. Conveyor belt stops, and we move on. To find a brain. Interesting. A brain in a jar. It talks. I don't remember this cutscene very well, but yes, that is Mr. X. We've reduced him to a brain in a jar. Those blips on the map, those are where all the bombs are placed. So we're going to try to stop him from blowing up what seems to be a good part of a country. Because in this game, he's more of a terrorist than a crime lord. If they can beat him in time, they can defuse the bombs. If not, well, boom. Yeah, there's a 3-minute time limit here. I come really close to losing it all. That's why I can't beat this game, Streets of Rage 3 normal mode. Just because this guy, Neo X or Robot Y, depending on what version, is fucking hard. Easily the hardest boss in the game. You can barely combo him, he's always moving around, his moves hit hard, they have high priority, he has all kinds of throws, he's a few grabs. You can barely grab him. Yeah, that's the best point to grab him. But of course he started choking me before I could throw him. Those rockets hurt. Your running attack's basically useless. Well, Blaze's 1 star isn't bad, it helps. See, he caught me in midair. I mean, yeah, final boss, but come on. I'll admit that that was just me screwing up, though. Countering or recovering from jumps is the same as always. Hold C and up. Now look at this. I try to grab him. I'm trying to grab and throw him, but for some reason, he's invincible. Best way to get him is to try and get him to throw you from the center of the screen to another part, because then you will grab him and be able to throw him. Or at the very least be able to jump kick him. That's another strategy, but it's slow, and doesn't work very well on higher difficulties because he's got a lot of life bars. Also, he can jump forward and do ram attacks like that, or get out of your range and knock you down. Probably the point in the game where I lose the most lives, that's for sure. I do get to beat him here. When 31 seconds are left on the clock, yep. So he seems to be dead. Oh no, he's not dead. Oh, okay, it's over. Okay, he's dead. Mr. X is no longer a brain in a jar, he's a brain in a cracked jar that is bleeding. It's a nice image. So yeah, he's beaten, but he says he's going to get the last laugh because he's activating a self-destruct sequence in his lab. The door's shut, and the team appears to be trapped. Is this the end? You can see desperation kick in here. An explosion goes off. And it turns out Adam came to save their asses. And that's it. The base explodes, the team gets away, and they defuse the bombs. And here is the main theme remix we've been waiting for. You get it only when you get the good ending. As far as I know, I think if you get the bad ending, as in not beating the time limit here, which is more of a neutral ending than a... it's tough to say what you call it. It's another ending. I'll leave it at that. I think it plays in the Japanese version, but not in the American version. So now we get to see what the team's up to in the credits roll. We got Skate riding alongside Adam here. Apparently they must be in a European country or Japan or somewhere, because they're driving on the other side of the road. Looks like Adam's in a pretty nice suit. Wonder where he's off to. So yeah, there's Bare Knuckle 3, and oh, well, here's Axel training with Adam. But yeah, here's Bare Knuckle 3. It's one of my favorite games. I especially like it better than the second game, which everyone seems to love. Although the first one is still, in my opinion, the best of the series, the overall most balanced. It's not overly difficult, it's not overly easy, and it's not overly frustrating. That was the problem with Streets of Rage 2. Bare Knuckle 3 is too easy, Streets of Rage 3 is too hard. Streets of Rage 1, it's a nice balance. I have no real complaints about it. The series as a whole is great though, and it should definitely be played for any beat-em-up fan. Here we have Blaze out sunning somewhere. And there's actually a fan-made remake made by Bomber Games that is just absolutely amazing, and I highly recommend it because it has been officially released, and it's easy to find even though Sega has put a cease and desist order on it. Because Sega of Europe was too butthurt that a bunch of fans made a much better game than they have in recent years. Maybe that's being a little too harsh. Sonic Generations is a pretty damn good game too. But then that's because they've been putting some good effort into Sonic lately. Speaking of Sonic, that's what's coming up next. I'm going to start with the original Sonic the Hedgehog series on the Genesis, just the main 4 games. Although I might end up doing Sonic Spinball at one point or another. Don't count on me being very good at it. We have Zan here. He's heading off to parts unknown. He is a cyborg though, so... Now, as I said, there will be an extra part that'll show off a couple things in Stage 6 and 7 that I never did. Specifically, the whole other Stage 7. I'm not going to show off the ending that you get when you miss the timer, though. Because it's essentially the same, except for instead of the team looking happy, there's just a destroyed city. And here we go, the end, where we have no Zan, Blaze in her Streets of Rage 1 outfit, and Adam and Max. Max, who we never heard from in this entire game. Oh, yeah, I was never asked to put in my initials for some reason, and I thought it was a bug the first time I played it, and then... Nope. Only in Bare Knuckle 3. But anyway, that's it. Streets of Rage series just about done, I just got a couple extra parts coming up. And after that, I'm getting right into Sonic the Hedgehog, so... I'll see you guys then.